work, doesn't feel too greedy. I think they have it. The Puck Void Spirit's a concern for me, but that's the only one.
Puck Void Spirit is in that matchup is a little bit, you're not sure who you stand on there.
No, I stand on the Puck. It's
Oh.
concerning for me for eternity. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I'm fully gone in the Puck way, man. I think Puck is actually really strong right now as well.
Really?
Yeah. I feel like there's a lot of games where there's just not enough stuns. Because, you know, Shaman is out of the meta unless you're EU, right? Lion's out of the meta. I mean, they picked it here, but it's out of the meta, right? And Rubik is seen sometimes, but still not very commonly. So I think the biggest counters that supports the Puck have been out of the meta. And it honestly feels like a pretty free Puck game a lot of times. I actually love this pick. If people pick Marcy, dude, you just puck it and you don't care.
You say puck it, and you pick
No, you puck it. Like you pick a puck, right?
Uh-huh.
What are you implying?
And well, I think you first pick the Marcy, and then you say puck it, and then you drop the coil, right?
Yes, exactly. Yes. And the Marcy gets screwed because she can't really dispose you because it's too long an animation. People have forgotten about that, but the dispose has a weird animation, so Puck gets around. You know, it's appropriate, right? Because today is the 4th of July, and that's the Independence Day of Canada. So Puck, you know, like their national sport.
Oh, don't say that. That's not true.
No?
No, there's a Canada Day.
Oh, I'm joking.
Ooh, the European.
I'm joking.
Oh man, he pissed off the Canadians. That's really hard to do.
The battle begins.
Look, I'm sorry. All right, I forget when you guys decided to not be part of Europe anymore. I don't know.
Canada was cool with it for a while longer. They still have the Queen on their money.
Oh, that is true, actually. Yeah, you guys were like, let's
We
drink
were not
the Queen's
cool
tea.
with the tea tax.
No.
And therefore became a coffee country.
So it should have been like us, you know, where we were like, you know what, we did expel the king 200 years ago, but let's bring him back.
Bring him back, baby. Here's this mid ward, by the way, I wanted to talk about. We'll see if Fixer. Oh, he doesn't have a sentry with him now. Usually, you know, sometimes you bring one to lane, sometimes you don't. Against a Puck, you know, Puck's always going to beat you to the warding wars unless you've got like an Earth Spirit on your team who can kind of race to the mid lane. But this is going to be the ward here, this Dire ward. Is going to be the one to allow Lion eventually to get into this lane and potentially set up the gank.
I think, you know, we haven't seen that technique in a while, but I actually think that a solo smoke is genuinely a good idea for eternity once the Timber Saw takes over the lane.
Yeah.
Like, you know, Puppy used to do this all the time. He just used to be like, even I remember his Doom 4, he used to solo smoke mid and Inferno Blade mid laner and do nothing else. I feel like Moonlight can actually do that this game. It's a good idea.
Also using the Shadow Word aggressively here early on level 1 against the Timber Saw. You know, I've always been told not to do this because it's 25% reduction on 18 damage per second. It's not really, it doesn't add up to that much. That's really what that means.
Yeah, it's not much. What is it, like 15, I think? 15 damage per second? So
Yeah.
150 damage in total, but it's over 10 seconds.
Yeah, so they just pop a tango and they're pretty decent. Yeah, I mean, you know, you might as well put that mana to use at level 1, right, is what I say in lane. Yeah, but he might need it as he is trading here quite aggressively. There's the point in reactive armor, though, so it doesn't have to fear the Warling death quite yet. But already, this top lane looking pretty smooth here for Revenant.
I suppose like if Timbersaw is not a hero that deals too much damage early, right? He just kind of like, once he hits level 6, he starts harassing you, but before that, he's just a tank. So maybe that's why he's using it aggressively, at least kick out Moonlight out of the lane. If once Timbersaw can solo this lane, Moonlight doesn't have much HP or mana, he can't really gank mid effectively. So maybe the Salacious Sea Line is thinking about that. I don't love this build though. I gotta say the Warlocks that I've seen that I think are better go for the Blightstone early to actually do a little bit of damage with her out attacks. He has a pretty good base attack damage, and I think the Blightstone takes advantage of that well.
Yeah, very true. His animation is like not god awful. He's got a really long backswing on it, but you can just, you know, auto or like issue a command out of it really.
Yeah. And the projectile is small, so you can't really tell when it's coming at you.
That's the thing. It's very small. Alvaro he's big on this guy. The model size of the projectile very important.
Yeah. So Lion can't expect it.
Lion,
it's just like it sneaks
he
into
can't
it,
avoid
right?
it. He cannot avoid it. But Timber here already to level 3. Just needs to get these reactive armor stacks up, and he'll be quite tanky. He's got the bracelet ready to go. There's a moment of danger here at Blade Fury level 2, especially with his current amount of HP. So, you know, credits to the constant spam of Shadow Word aggressively, as that has kind of, you know, kept him in this danger zone. The salve, though, is going to eventually be forced out. And I think that'll be Revenant here in a pretty good spot.
Yes, Timber Chain though. Juggernaut should not really kill him. They don't really have a stun. Like even if they had an upheaval, I don't think that Revenant is too worried about this. He went for an early bracer, which is not that common on Timbersaw, but it allows him to survive the Blade 3 for sure. I think he's fine. What I question though is Moonlight. What are you doing still in this lane, buddy? Just leave this Timbersaw alone.
He'll get
Go
going
farm.
eventually, I think. Pretty happy with Brown Boots, even as a position 4 line. At least you do get to pick those up a little bit early. Got a justified reason. Real quick, just to give a quick nod towards Fatal Bonds. Some pretty good, at least, combos with Fatal Bonds this game. Firestorm, huge AoE, right? Percentage-based damage being shared is going to be very, very nice with your team. Puck as well, some huge AoE magic damage, as in like the amplitude. Sorry, not the amplitude. What the heck is that? The amount of magic
frequency.
damage is huge. The AoE is not so big, but you know, Mark still might be able to find a couple of angles as Moonlight is scouted here on the ward, hiding behind a tree. So Puck is not going to be able to be ganked that easily.
Dude was like, what you trying here, Ray? I guess I'll go back. Oh no.
Oh no!
Oh no, he got tossed into a bunch of pine cones.
Well, the
Those
Skellies,
hurt a lot.
they rally. They're gonna try.
Yeah, that's true actually. But now Toof realized he has no armor and Ray's range, so he's gonna get a lot of attacks in.
Yep, and down bottom has been predictably quite easy for CDR.
Yeah, I mean that's why they can leave him solo as well. I like the techniques by Tiv though. Like Underlord is not without tools, whereas you know once Timbersaw takes over the lane, Jug can't do much except for like last him in their tower. The Underlord can't do these kind of shenanigans once the Rubik is gone, because there's no stuns on Lifestealer. Do they have Goal Frenzy? They have 1 point in Goal Frenzy. It's not enough to slow him considerably. I am surprised by the Overvenom though on CDR. I wasn't expecting to see Overvenom. I don't think it's the lane where you like trade particularly effectively to go for the orb. I think you just kind of last it.
Yeah. Yeah, agreed. Now the Shadow Word being level 2 is actually doing a bit more of a number, especially to the line. Its damage is incredibly increased here. I thought that Centaur Conqueror actually stunned up Revenant. It's fine, it's only Timber Chain level 2, so again, without Whirling Death, I just don't really think you ever threaten this Warlock too much. Or Chakram, right?
Radiant are scanning.
Mid lane scan is quite curious. Just wanted to know if Fixer was rotating away. He's not, so that's going to give them the go-ahead. Top lane onto the Timbersaw. First blood attempt here is not going to catch Revenant, though. He Timber Chains away before the Avalanche catches him.
I have never seen a scan used for that purpose, actually. Was it because he was in the high ground he couldn't see?
I think so. Right in the ward expired, so he's just a bit scared, thinking maybe, you know, guys, we can't get wrecked by a counter rotation here. Speaking of counter rotations, Fixer, he sees, well, just about everyone. That's not going to stop him from getting coiled, though. He'll snap it voluntarily. Does get off the Resonant Pulse here, and don't think they quite had the damage for him anyways, is what this one looks like here. And he's going to be rewarded here with the DD rune as well, right into his bottle.
Thank you.
This Warlock has laid so many Shadow Wards onto the enemy, and I don't feel like they're doing much. It's just becoming kind of... I always see the enemy with like a Shadow Ward. It's almost like a desperate attempt at bringing some damage in. I think the Fatal Bonds are even more effective at that. I actually wouldn't mind if you maxed the Fatal Bonds either now. Like, you already got the 2 points of Shadow Wards for the healing in lane. Maybe you would max Fatal Bond, do a lot of area damage. I can imagine, like, Fatal Bonds a group of people with Avalanche getting hit.
Yeah.
That's a lot of damage.
Moonlight is here. Fixer is going to rotate with the DD rune, so they can make a play now for the Juggernaut. Aether Remnant, even its early level here at level 1 is going to be enough lockdown. That kill also gives level 6 to Revenant, so very unlikely to live here is Salacious Sea Lion. A little bit of damage shared between them with the Fatal Bonds, but plenty of tanky targets here. They also did not get the wagon with the Fatal Bonds. It's always the play you want to make as a Warlock, because that thing can soak a lot of damage. I've picked up a couple of kills off of unsuspecting heroes, usually supports that don't respect the Fatal Bonds split damage from a wagon. It's very funny.
Yep. I want to say that this play was actually really clever by Eternity, by Eternity as a team, because the Timbersaw was level 5. You know that Timbersaw's kill potential is always at level 6, so as a carry, you kind of play a little bit more aggressively. Why? By the way, Chakram. They have the Hex. They should have Nurse Spike as well, just in case. Well, they don't. They don't even need it, actually. Moonlight had it on cooldown. Instead of Toof will die here to Fixers. So this rotation happens right as Seven is level 5. Juggernaut doesn't know that the Void Spirit is coming, and he's expecting the rotation to come at level 6, because that's usually when you rotate for a Timbersaw kill, right? So the fact that it comes a little bit earlier surprises them, and manages to get the Hex, which Juggernaut was not really considering. And that's why he didn't Blade Fury away, which he probably would have done once level 6.
Oh, yep, and that's going to be a great initiation by Moonlight. Sets it up with the Hex into the Aether Remnant. That's a kill. A Toof, they can't get in there to deny the regen as much as they'd like to. It'd be at least the death of one more of them. Nice job there. This ward gave him a little bit of a false sense of confidence just behind this tree. The second time there, it actually works quite well for Moonlight.
I love these rotations by Eternity, actually. They're playing really well. I think that when you have a Lion and Rubik, because these two supports don't give you vision in team fights, because they're not tanky, right? The team fights become a little more difficult, and you have to utilize their stuns effectively in the early game to get a lead, right? So you can get map control. And they're doing that perfectly. Well, okay. Moonlight.
No, that's totally worth. In fact, it's a bit unfortunate for Happy Seals because the Observer Ward, they had a sentry here on the high ground that Eternity managed to take out, but Happy Seals didn't scout this Observer here, which gave him complete confidence really to skirmish like that in the river. That's the second time it's really paid off for them here. The first when Fixer was able to just tank the coil. So that removed a bit of the early momentum, potential that a mid lane puck has. Still, trucking towards this Witchblade.
I want to point out as well that another thing that's Eternity's doing really well with the map is that they're playing always away from their carry. So whereas here the Jug needs to be involved in this kill in the top lane, Lifestealer is not. However, this kill is kind of a difficult one. I mean, Slash doing a little bit of damage. They break the coil. Good use of the toss. And with the last Blade Fury, Revenant's going to go down. That was perfectly executed, Seals.
Yeah, but Fixers, they're looking for revenge on the Double King. He doesn't have the spin for 17 more seconds, so the Hex setup is trivial. And with the Earth Spike, they should also have an Aether Remnant. They do before we can get the Healing Ward out, but there's still just not enough damage. And now the Healing Ward is going to keep Double King alive through that last right click. In comes Tim as well. They don't have a stun here, actually, for Fixer. And nice double stun as well from Moonlight is going to guarantee that Fixer can TP away.
I agree with you. I think that should have been Earth Spike initiation and the Hex afterwards. Because there was no need to start with the Hexes because there was no spin, right? They could have abused the slows a little bit more. Mark. He is going to be harassed here by Revenant, but he has a Illusory Orb. He's going to be fine. Revenant surprisingly hitting him for a lot thanks to that extra bracer damage. Oof, you can really tell when the Timbersaw hurts. Such a buff little Timbersaw. I wonder if when Timbersaw gains strength, it goes to the robot.
What, you don't think the skinny guys can pack a punch? Is that what you're saying?
Well, I've seen you, so no, but I mean mostly because he's not really hitting anyone, right? Like if he gets super buff inside that suit, what does he do? He's just a buff guy inside a much more powerful metal suit, so. I wonder where that strength goes.
You ever see Pacific
Rim?
Question.
No, actually. I'm not a big fan of action movies.
That one's pretty good, honestly. I'd give it a try. First one, anyway.
I mean, I don't think the movies are bad. I just think that I don't personally like it.
No, sure.
That's how people don't like horror.
But it explains this concept of why would you need a squishy person inside of a hard metal suit?
Why is that the concept? What I'm saying is that if he gets buffer to the suit, I don't think the suit gets stronger. Why is there a movie to explain that concept? I didn't know.
Well,
that
because
was,
you don't understand, Alvaro. Even if the buff outside does not, increase its strength, that doesn't mean the squishy inside is any weaker.
Okay.
If anything,
a
buff to the squishy inside is better.
I'm glad someone took the time to explain this dumb question I had. Moonlight stun Tim in the bottom lane. We see TPs, they want to defend this, but Fixers get stuck in the Pit of Malice. Oh, okay, Tim just took a finger right to the face, and he's going to go down here to the Timber Chain. Goodbye to Tim. That did not give finger if that stacks.
No, you need to get it in
Revenant
like 2 seconds or whatever.
Yep, Moonlight, you have a right to ping Revenant and ping him aggressively. I'm not giving you the finger if that stacks Berserk.
My 20 damage. How will we win this game?
Middle tower
40 damage.
Yeah, it's 40. Yeah, 20. Nobody would care on 20 damage. 40 now. That's a good thing.
Oh, shaky move from Atuf. Oh, but the stolen spin from Ray prevents the spin. Atuf taking a lot of damage here. Half HP here already as the coil does connect onto 2, but Atuf not in a position to go for a toss back. Wasn't probably expecting Fixer to have shown up.
Oh, they found him with a sentry as well now as they actually Timber Chained and shot right through him. Can Revenant guess? He did not guess correctly. They almost just burst him by accident.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Pretty close, a good effort. What this really means is that Happy Seals have yet to really look to apply pressure. I would say the first moment they actually looked to counter-initiate was Tib there on the Pit of Malice down bottom, but he's been booted from the bottom lane without successfully getting the tower. This is going to be a whole lot of farm now for Ray. At least safe farm, which is, gonna not punish this position 5 Rubik perhaps as much as they could have set out to do.
I just feel like that lane was so weak, there was no way you're going to win it against the Lifestealer, right? Like, Lifestealer's a strong laner. He's one of the better laners against Underlord. It's not quite like Slark level, maybe, or Monkey King, I guess. But it's up there. And Titan does nothing against them. Mid lane, they missed the Waiting Rift, so Revenant will be able to get away. I think Mark actually Waiting Rift in place.
Looks like it. The toss in time, but the rest of the team who were smoked for that play could not take advantage of it, unfortunately.
It's a really tough play, by the way. Like, you kill Timbersaw early without the hood, and that's fine, but I think now you should just ignore the Timbersaw. I mean, I guess not really ignore is the right question, but you just can't gank him.
Pretty sick farm priority as well. Like, Eternity supports are both like pushing inside lanes, but like not so far where they're feeding, right? Array as well is defending bottom. You've got the Lifestealer in the jungle. You've got the Timbersaw like mid lane, just also pushing and forcing enemy heroes to be here. And you've got Void Spirit in his own jungle. He's gone for Yules first, actually, by the way, afraid of the silence. But it's just like it's a good thing to see by this team. Like they're taking up the entire map, as much of the map that they can, to just get maximum farm on the entire team.
Honestly, I think their macro is really, really good.
Looks really good.
I mean, in general, I see them, and I think like this team like is great at understanding their Dota, but this game particularly is showing it. So I was surprised because I watched them in the beginning of the season, missed 1 or 2 games, and all of a sudden they're like bottom of the table, like Arkosh level. You know, I thought, how is this possible?
Well, it's mid of the table, all right. To be fair, I think they're tied for 4th place right now with Arkosh.
Yeah, well, yeah, true actually. Yeah, the Wikipedia shows it as they're bottom of the ties because
Tooth just dies to CDR top,
yes.
And Salacious Sea Lion dies to Fixer at Moon Lane bottom. As Salacious Sea Lion was trying to set up some aggressive vision. I think he's. You know, it always feels a little bit bad when you're playing Warlock and you've got this big, powerful ulti and you hit level 7 without using it. And you're like, guys, I want to use my rock. And they go, but where? And you say, good point. It's hard. It's hard this game for him. Yeah. Perhaps mid lane could be an opportunity. It looks like they might get a tower. The Lion auto attacks. He needs one more. Oh, he needs another one. Well, they might stick around to try and get it. Nope, but Moonlight's going to go first. Good body blocks here as Mark utilizing the small model size of the puck in order to body block Revenant. They get the kill there as a result. Goes to Double King, which can be sent up in the Yules, or by the Yules of Fixer. They defend the tier 1 tower, even if it is on 9 HP. They might be able to actually get the enemies made in return.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Double King now with Omni Slash is a bit scarier, as Ray did a cute little waning rift there onto the creep wave to nuke it, and is finished off as a result. CDR, though, showing up to fight. There's going to be the Golem dropped, but Void Spirit definitely avoids it with his Yule's Scepter. Oh, the Lion Finger of Death there for Double King. He's going to have now Happy Seals retreating, tails tucked between their legs. Fixer, he's got a Lifestealer inside of him. Now he's going to go ahead and release him as Tib is set up here in a bit of a rough position. He hit that Void Spirit for a chunky auto attack. Get 167 damage there off the passive, but absolutely no follow-up. But Tooth actually is the one to get the kill there on the Void Spirit. And he is going to have to be punished for that one. Salacious Sea Lion also deep behind enemy lines as he continues to push the wave here with his Golem. But eventually, they'll catch up to a Tooth, even if he does stun 4 heroes with the Avalanche, nearly getting away. That was a pretty sick play.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, well done there. I was kind of surprised they initiated onto the Golem and they still managed to get out on top. The tempo they have with the Lifestealer is so impressive that the Seals, despite them having all their ultimates, didn't really matter. And also a really good use of the Finger Death at the beginning of the fight. They understood they could burst the Juggernaut, and that pretty much gave him full liberty in that fight because he had Omni Slash ready.
Nice little Rod of Mythos as well for Tib in that fight. Made things a little bit difficult, unfortunately. The Yules, right, kind of prevents Fixer from dying immediately. They get him towards the end, but do end up overextending ever so slightly in an effort to secure that kill. They don't get the tower either, so unfortunately not the best plan here for the Happy Seals, but they'll back up, they'll remuster and continue farming and give it another go. This Golem is still going to be incredibly strong here for the next couple, well, for the entire game, really.
Yeah, it was a very forced fight though, because they couldn't take bottom, as you said, with Underlord, and then they felt like they needed to create some space. Obviously, mid is the ideal tower to bunch up and push. Now they'll take a free bottom tower, which is much easier for them, but they've lost mid as a result, right? And them losing mid even matters more than them not taking the enemy. So now you're in a position where Seals, you haven't been able to create the space that you were expecting. You had an okay fighting lineup, but you haven't been able to execute it, and Lifestealer's about to hit his spike. In addition to the Void Spirit, right? Once the Axe comes out on Void Spirit, Puck doesn't feel that scary, and the fact that he's actually not only matching the Puck but beating him ever so slightly in terms of net worth is pretty dangerous. Void Spirit can get on top of the Puck, it's just kind of rare, because usually you lose the early game against them.
They have picked up the line here on this ward. Moonlight's got a ward at the exact same spot. I want to give a quick shout out to Moonlight and Ray, who, for the second time already this game, have both like gotten one hit each onto an Oblivion ward. It's very cute. Oh, All right, Fixer's going to say, hey, I've got a ward here too. You think you're special, Tiny? Although, I don't know. Well, with the Lion here, they are going to be bringing in now Tib, who is not going to get a Pit of Malice off in time. He spawned facing the wrong way. I'm not sure if there's a way you can manipulate that. Stolen Pit of Malice, though, is going to get the kill onto a Tooth, and they even set up a telekinesis here into the Stolen Pit for Mark, but he does get the Elusive Rope away in time. Fixer giving chase with CDR now in tow, and that'll be a kill then onto Tib, even some hands off the keyboard there. It's a swift rebuttal there by Eternity.
They're just stronger right now, and it feels like Happy Seal's engagements, they don't really have a good ganking squad, right? The Tiny can sort of work out if I guess he goes with the puck and burst down the supports, but you can't burst down Lifestealer, Timbersaw, or the Void Spirit. So Happy Seals has no way of recovering unless it's a 5-on-5 engagement. But these 5-on-5 engagements are difficult because, once again, Lifestealer is just too strong. Once he gets to Scotty and the Ags on Void Spirit comes up, they'll have to rethink their strategy here. Timbersaw is also very scary. Some great steals as well by Ray. I'm very surprised he got the Pit of Malice. Not an easy spell to steal.
Yeah, I'm wondering, like, do you know if there's a way to manipulate which way you come out of the Fiend's Gate? I've got no clue, but if he was facing the right direction to instantly cast Pit, right, he might have actually caught Void Spirit. I don't know if the fight looks any different. I'm just theory crafting, you know.
You can go through one side or the other of the gate, so that's the option.
Okay,
as far as
that would make sense.
CDR gives Rage a little bit early, which means the Golem catches him, but they cut Mark as well. Mark about to be bursted down. The Golem to protect him. Oh, sorry, to attack him. Ray almost stunned Mark with it. However, the Omni Slash from behind comes out. Double King kills Revenant, and now CDR in trouble. Double King chases him down with Blade Fury, and they got all three of the enemy cores thanks to the Golem from Salacious Sea Lion. Ray might have stolen the Golem, but he didn't get the great initiation that Salacious Sea Lion did. And with a little Avalanche, they're also getting rid of Ray's Golem. They want the extra gold here that it provides. Well done, though. That's a really good Omni Slash. They've wasted a lot of the mobility and the Void Spirit, and apparently he didn't have Yules available. He got caught before he could use the Yules.
Yeah, he used up the puck, right? Which is why he didn't have Yules ready to dispel that. The silence as well into a fantastic Omni Slash with all three cores. There's that AoE damage. I mean, it's so much right now that you've got the Fatal Bonds. That's the fight. That's like the dream fight, really, for a Warlock, right? I mean, minus the part where he does get his Golem stolen, because Warlock had to kind of sell his soul to get that power, and he's a little bit upset Rubik can just steal it. But he's pretty happy. It's a team fight win. They've cut the net worth lead there by quite a bit, and now Eternity here are going to be looking for a bit of revenge as they'll look towards the bottom lane. Double King did shove in one lane. Oh, he went to maybe think about farming the camp, and that's going to allow Moonlight to reveal a Blink Dagger here on him. Chakram is more than enough damage, and Fixer is out of there like thieves in the night. Eternity have just stolen the life there of the Juggernaut.
That's the strength as well of the Eternity lineup, right? They're a lineup that is really solid at getting these pickups on top of the team fights. The Tooth now caught as well. He went up to the high ground, though, and CDR just eats him for breakfast. The fact that they can kill solo heroes and also 5-on-5 fight gives them a lot more options than Happy Seals. Happy Seals will eventually win these 5-on-5 engagements, but right now they just can't. And Eternity is utilizing this more diverse draft that they have to better use, honestly.
Dare I say, I think that's going to be a little close. Well, now it's only 900 gold away from 50 seconds. It might be a little close. There might be an Ag Scepter online for the Void Spirit by the time that Happy Seals have their big, Wombo combo Omni into Chaotic Offering ready again. Yeah, so that might be a bit that's going to be pretty, like in terms of who gets the initiation, who gets it right is going to be pretty crucial here, because this is going to be either a super impactful Ags pickup by Fixer, or he's just going to get caught by another Golem and die like he did before.
Yeah, we have the Manta style on Double King though, so he has a way to deal with that silence. Obviously, this build is meh for a Juggernaut these days. It's just that he had to get it for the silence against the Void Spirit, which, fair enough. We'll see how this works out, how fast Double King is on clicking that, though. CDR did not go for a Bastion, so they don't really have a way of stopping Juggernaut if he's spinning. So maybe that's the tool as well, like spin in the beginning and then just Omni Slash when you have the Golem ready. We'll also see the impact of the Scotty here for CDR. That's going to make him tank an Omni Slash, I believe, pretty nicely. And he can just rage right through it, maybe infest someone as well, like Timbersaw, give him so much HP that Omni Slash doesn't do much. This build with Manta style lacks damage in general on Juggernaut, and it's why people don't like to buy it unless they need to.
Yep. Eternity, actually, they also choose to smoke here before the Axe Time on the Void Spirit, and they're going to end up...
They have Blink.
Yeah, but if they find a fight here, Void's not going to be here, and they're fighting now into Chaotic Offering. This feels a bit risky.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Chaotic Offering is more than enough damage, and Fixer giving chase with CDR now in tow, and that's going to allow Moonlight to reveal a Blink Dagger here on him. Chakram is more than enough damage, and Fixer is out of there like thieves in the night. Eternity have just stolen the life there of the Juggernaut.
Yeah, we have the Manta style on Double King, though, so he has a way to deal with that silence. Okay, they're going to try to initiate here. They're going to get someone. It's going to be double king for now, but unfortunately the spin gets off. And now it's Moonlight who's in trouble. They have to settle for Flesh Sea Lion. Elise taking rid of him, but he does get the golem out. Omni Slash on top of that. Timbersaw's going to eat that whole Omni Slash Revenant. Actually survives through it. A toss though for double king. Okay, you can chase after Revenant, but there's another Timber Chain. Revenant will be fine. Ray in the trees has been caught up by the puck. There's the Pit of Malice used as well as the two cores get rid of double king from behind. Ray does die though as a result. Now they've managed to root Fixers, and Fixers has one left assimilate to get away, but he gets killed off by the Wishblade residual damage, which means Mark will get that kill. Tib, a little bit too cocky, TPing in the face of CDR. They have no way, though, to cancel that TP. So it ends up working right for Happy Seals.
Oh, it's coming back.
They are coming back, and they want to get CDR. Good rage to get away. Revenant as well as a Timber Chain in a second, so they won't get caught. At least they forced that Fiendscape, but they do lose that engagement. Happy Seals taking better 5-on-5 engagements as time goes on.
Yeah, and I think Eternity had the opportunity there with Void Spirit to kill the Jug if he had joined the gang. And again, that's why I said that. I was really surprised how far they took that fight from the Void Spirit, who was about to finish up Acceptor. I think this fight looks completely differently if he shows up in time. And I think his team really just needed to wait that extra 10 or 15 seconds for him to have the item. It was a good jump onto the Juggernaut, I'm not going to lie, but they just lacked that follow-up damage without him there, as he was crucially in the previous gank where they killed him that quickly in the Tier 1, under Tier 1 bottom. And now he's got the Ags online. He's going to be going for Kaya and Sanj, so just into more status resist, much like the Puck will eventually as well. No BKB game, actually, for Mark. Don't see this item a whole lot on the mid lane Pucks. They seem to try and avoid this item as much as they can, but seems like against a Lion, it's really the only thing you can do. Status resist is not going to help you a lot against a Hex.
Yeah, this used to be the strategy against Lion and Rubik as well. Both have instant stuns, right? So you want to use the BKB for this so you can have a much more reliable initiation. And I agree with this. Now is when the Basher and Lifestealer though becomes even more important. So I'm hoping that's the next item after Scotty. Heaven's Halberd is okay for Lifestealer. I'm not bothered by that build with evasion and the disarm. But I'd much rather see the Basher to deal with Jug and potentially the Puck here. A surprise Basher, something Puck cannot predict.
Oh, counter smoke as well.
Double smoke.
Happy Seals.
Then they use 2 there. Oh, put the cover the smoke down. And now they catch the Puck. He's silenced. The Chocolate might just kill him. There we go. Puck is dead. Nice yield into the Void Spirit. The Infest Bomb comes out afterwards. A nice Hex up to the Juggernaut. Rubik telekinesis him away, but they actually stack those stuns. Double King can get away instead, as now Moonlight dies. Don't know about that telekinesis, Ray. Still has 4 stuff though, but stole phase shift, so he's not going to be able to initiate onto Tib. And they're going to have to let Happy Seals go. I think Double King would have died if Ray had just waited a little longer.
The Swift, the Sports.
In fact, now they go in for the counter initiation. They catch Ray, punish him for this. Revenant also in trouble. He needs to Timber Chain himself to safety, but he's rooted forever and he can't do that. So unfortunately, they're going to lose 2. CDR has the rage, but no desire of fighting Double King with Omni Slash. CDR can still technically infest the creep. Double King doesn't entirely know when the cooldown of Infest is going to come off.
They thought, Salacious Sea Lion thought for a second about dropping the Golem, but there's a little bit of a delay on that stun. It feels, you know, the Golem is going to make a big entrance. He needs all the pyrotechnics to go off first, and then he's going to stun, right? He's like a wrestler. He's got very much a wrestler kind of entrance. But yeah, the fight does not look good for Eternity, and I thought Happy Seals were going to be on the losing end of that one. As they make like an odd turn through the river in their smoke gank that left them completely in a pit, lacking the vision. As now they might end up dropping the rock here onto 3. They'll catch 3, but they've also lost Mark. Omni Slash is out. Didn't do really that much damage though. The CDR still alive. The Lion ends up tanking most of it, but CDR now stuck in the Pit of Malice, is actually now forced up to the cliff. Thanks to the 4 staff here of Ray. That's not going to save his life, though. He was slowed to a crawl and did not get away from the enemies now as Double King continues to give chase. Now the Roots there is going to catch the Rubik. Radavatos here really coming in handy for Tib. They lose the Puck, but pick up a couple of kills on the cores as well as that first Aegis. So Happy Seals now completely turning this game around.
Yeah, they're underestimating this team fight. They're bunching up. The positioning is not ideal. Like when we have a Void Spirit and Timber Saw and align with Blink, you should be able to like just make it a really chaotic fight, which makes it hard to land the Golem. But they keep getting Golem on like 2 cores at least, if not 3 altogether, right? They keep getting Omnied into 3 people without mobility. It's not ideal for Happy Seals. I'd like to see maybe Ghost Scepters on the Rubik and the Lion to avoid these Omni sizes from being too impactful. And I wouldn't mind seeing Yules and Revenant. I'm actually surprised they didn't go for a Yules this game.
Yep.
I know it's not a good item in general these days, but it's just so great against the Omni Slash and also against the Puck.
Agreed.
I feel like you get caught with a Pit, and you just set up for Omni Slash, and then that's it. Revenant just dies, especially with the mixed damage Juggernaut went for. And now with the Basher, increased even further. He has the Shard. Like, Double King is becoming strong. And Juggernaut eventually outscales Life Theater as well.
Yeah, and even with the Egg Scepter, you know, again, every single time that there's a counter initiation ready for Void Spirit, namely this chaotic offering, he can't really get out of any of his damage, and he's forced to use like Dissemblade and Astral Step to get out of the fight, which doesn't feel too great for him. He's got Kaya now, so at least he can significantly increase the ceiling of his damage here with the Spell Lamp, but it's been problematic here for him in the last couple of fights in terms of actually getting on top of these targets and finding some kills. I guess ideally Warlock's the target here with Salacious Sea Lion, who, by the way, very much like myself, thinks that Holy Locket is still one of the better items in the game. He's got the Shard early, so he's got this AoE Shadow Word, which also provides your allies 10% move speed buff.
That's pretty great, actually. The Shard on Warlock is one of the best ones in the game.
Yep, it's really good. You can get some absolutely ridiculous healing on this thing.
I really like the Holy Locket as well. I feel like many times this item is just forgotten for no reason. I think it's a really good investment for how little it costs. Oh, Moonlight, that's been built. Especially because you can build it off your Arcane Boots, right? Like, if you're a hero that builds Arcane Boots but doesn't build Aether Lens, it does feel like Arcanes are kind of meh into the mid-lane game. And so turning into Holy Locket feels amazing.
Oh, they're going to kill Ray. Ray going for a little D-ward play.
Go, Ray. Go, Ray. Look at his TP. Oh.
Good effort. Oh, he still spin. Yeah. Almost.
He definitely stole spin. I don't know if almost got away. I don't know if that was the right. But yeah, it was a little bit difficult to try to TP away in the low ground because they're going to find you pretty easily in the low ground.
Surely these 3 heroes don't try and fight right now without their supports, right?
Surely.
It looks like they're thinking about it.
Not really sure why there's a defensive life.
Okay, there you
go. Surely that's the play. Yeah. And you keep farming on CDR, who's going for Satanic, not Basher. He just needs more resistance. He thinks he needs to tank the Omni Slash. I'm not opposed to this, but once again, a Yules on Timber would help that too. Those centers on supports.
Yeah, and I just honestly, I don't think, if you think you're going to catch Mark there and kill him off the Void Spirit, like initiation, I don't think you're giving Mark enough credit. This guy, you know, Team Magnus, they ended up winning only a few games their DPC season. I think Tour 2 is where we saw them, or Tour 1, pardon me. I guess Tour 2 there was some issues with them in the qualifiers, but he carried games on Puck, and granted that was when Puck was a little stronger, but still.
No, 100%, you're right. Mark might be able to chase down CDR. No, CDR is just going to continue farming. Instead, they catch the Void Spirit. BKB used by Mark to make sure he can't get stunned. He's really committed to the Void Spirit kill. Good use of the waiting rift now because there's no Yulster in time. Fixers get killed. Okay, he deliberated a second whether to use Yulster or not, and that allowed the Avalanche to hit him. Well done. I was not expecting that would turn into a kill, honestly.
Probably neither was Fixer, right?
That should help.
With this, Happy Seals, I mean, they keep getting these, I
Radiant's bottom
don't
tower.
want to say pickoffs necessarily, like they're spending a lot of resources on these quote-unquote pickoffs, but they're starting to work for them really easily. And with Double King outscaling the lifesteal now, it becomes really difficult for Fixers to, sorry, for Eternity to take this 5-on-5 fights. And now the fights are getting longer as well, so you can't play within the Golem timings, right? Like, there's always going to be Golem available in these team fights, as long as they kill one person.
Yeah, exactly. And actually, Double King, yeah, he's going to go to the high ground here. He feels confident enough. They keep healing the wave as well, which means it's a little bit more difficult to clear. Not very, at least, but especially with, yeah, a quick little infest like that. It's infest use, though. For another 45 seconds, they don't quite have that.
Yeah.
That might embolden here Happy Seals, especially with their ultis, to just take the last tier 2 tower.
Well, the fact that CDR has no like pushing, no like Maelstrom or anything like that makes it much more difficult as well to deal with these things. You do have a lot of things on Void Spirit and Timbersaw to deal with the waves, right? Because they're definite sources of damage, as in their spells, they're not as impactful as say a Maelstrom when these scripts get stronger. So they don't have the best like super creep deep pushing, for example. Lifestealer is also probably one of your best deep pushers because they've just proven they can kill Void Spirit and definitely the Timbersaw as well if they just catch him in the backlines. Whereas Rage TP is always effective this game.
Except for
Actually,
Golem.
maybe not even, because they have Basher.
Yep, and Golem.
That's true.
There's Coil
But
bottom.
Golem is harder to hit.
There's a
because of
smoke, though.
the-
Eternity, they're a little bit behind, but they have caught Salacious Sea Lion here. They're going to try and burst them,
Okay,
and they
good.
will be able to do that. That means there's no Golem immediately in the fight, but Tib, he's going to lay down. Oh, the Fiend's Gate is not in the fountain, so it's a TP instead to the outpost for the Warlock, as out comes the Omni Slash bouncing around. They get a bash, but only onto Ray, and Ray's actually going to live. He had a little Illusory Orb jaunt. That'll get him out of harm's way. Build supports end up buying back, but it seems like nothing else here really gets used other than the Omni.
Yeah, the force use of the Omni feels pretty good here. Usually CL's been kind of good on where they use the Omni. They use it with the Golem, right? So they have like the stud, and then the Omni passes between the right targets. But here, Double King wasn't able to do that because they were too far away.
Yep.
So they kind of wasted the Omni. Now they have to go back and wait. They've used the buyback too.
That, and they quite crucially catch Salacious Sea Lion there with that smoke anchor, right? So they don't have Fatal Bonds to split the damage around.
That's also a very good point, actually. Very, very good point. Yeah, Salacious Sea Lion is a key part of the team fight, and I'm glad that Eternity is identifying that. They're starting to take the team fights a little bit better. They realize that, yeah, getting Puck would be ideal, but if you can't get Puck, probably Warlock is your next best option.
Oh, they see Double
Not
King.
the Underlord.
Oh, but they've split
there
targets?
They go.
Okay.
For the Warlock again, Salacious Sea Lion, he's being destroyed, and he's going to die quickly. And they expect from Moonlight, that's definitely worth it for Eternity. Moonlight is not that useful compared to Salacious Sea Lion. Now Tib is being slowed down to a halt. CDR does a fair amount of damage, but he gets pushed away. Now it's the Void Spirit who's fighting the Puck head on. Yule Scepter to try to save himself, but unfortunately Fixers, oh never mind, fortunately, he has the movement he needs. Now saved by the Impet, go back in, he's been healed to full. CDR though has no stun, so they can't stop the Puck, they go for a Tooth instead. Healing Ward is helping him out, Healing Ward destroyed. A Tooth gets the toss off, and actually sends CDR up to the high ground. CDR is forced to TP. So they can continue this aggressive fight. Not that bad, all things considered, for Happy Seals. They managed to, stave the bleeding.
Yeah, and there Kaya and Sanj actually ends up making the difference for the Timbersaw. As he's barely alive. Even this Bracer comes down to it. He just barely survives like that second barrage from Mark. And that kind of gets Mark to kind of get a little bit kited out. They don't quite focus fire. Pardon me. Both teams don't really end up quite focus firing in that fight. Except for the initiation, in which both teams immediately jumped the supports that just had bought back. Like you called, though, of course, that's a bigger win for Eternity. And they even get the offlaner here, so a bit of a better exchange rate for them, even if their Lion is dead slightly longer than the Warlock. Such is life. And now, I think it's all going to be about this next Roche. Timber already checking through the pit. It's not the fastest of Roche, not the slowest. It's, as they say, the Goldilocks of Roche, I believe, is the industry acceptable term. And that'll be about another minute until it's back.
I think that's what Shannon decided on. That's the one. He's, of course, the master of naming.
Of course. Smoke play. I'm happy.
He's going for the Wind Waker, by the way, which
This
I love.
one might catch Moonlight yet again. Without buyback, it's kind of a substantial kill here. Or maybe even Fixer. Coil instead is going to be for Revenant. Fixer has got himself as well. The carry inside of him as Moonlight at least stuns up Tib. That does prevent the infinite roots coming for Revenant, but there's root number one, and without the Lotus Orb is Timber, so he's just dead. Dagon even from Mark is going to finish off the kill. However, getting a little bit too aggressive there is a tooth. They do reflect the Earth Spike, and they even drop the Golem here. I don't think that even caught anyone. Fixer is simply going to attempt to TP away, and he gets out.
It got Fixers in the stun, and they almost killed him as a result. So it was a pretty good Golem. I mean, like, they wanted to punish the fact that Eternity went for the Tiny instead of the Warlock, and they're like, if you don't initiate on Warlock, we will punish you. And yeah, Golem is a massive cooldown, so now you have to wait for 170 seconds for your next fight. But because you are the team that has a better late game anyway, you're not that concerned about it. Oh, they're actually gonna go for Roche. I mean, no Golem. If Timbersaw popped back, I guess he doesn't want to. CDR, do not just walk into the
He's
pit.
got TD. He doesn't care, man.
Doesn't care. He doesn't care.
Oh, and Roche is helping him.
He's gonna beat the Underlord.
He doesn't need a basher if Roche bashes.
Oh no! Exactly! Tim has been bashed twice in a row. Tim is going to die. Fixers sent back with the Psychic Headband. The Yule Scepter for Salacious Sea Lion. You get him with telekinesis, but Mark nearby.
Oh no, the Omni.
To the creeps. Fixers Now gets close to the Warlock with a Dissimulate, gets away now with the Astral Step. Omni has been wasted, and they're gonna take a free Roche here with a Lifestealer. What is happening, Richie?
cannot
we still
believe-
have one more shield. They hit him with the Aether Remnant. The Dissimulate onto the Warlock. Warlock had the magic wand, though. The holy luck, it saves him. As the Roche gets taken by CDR. Memes upon dreams.
I cannot believe the luck of Happy Seals in that fight. I mean, first of all, the rune that CDR gets is like probably the only rune that allows him to win that 1v1. Roche bashing twice is also kind of mandatory there. Fixers jumps in like a madman. He gets Omni Slash as a result. But of course, Jug has to bounce over to the neutral camp, and he doesn't bounce back. Like, what is this? I can't believe it.
It's because he got the max range. Like, literally, he was barely in range of the creeps. And then he moved just one step back. And then it worked out. That is ridiculous, honestly. But it is how it works, though. Omni will bounce to a different target if a different target is available. So, I mean, I guess that's also part of the Juggernaut, right? Not considering the creep gun. It's not really luck. Like, if there's two targets, it'll always bounce between the two targets. Never in the same target.
They did have the ward up as well, right? So the vision kind of, you know, not to blame the supports. They're supports. Why are you warding, you know? But it's a little bit unfortunate there. Double King now smoked up. This Moonlight's going to be a bit harder to take down. They break the Lincoln Sphere that Jug has. Out pop CDR like a Kinder Egg. And Moonlight is going to die. CDR then caught in a bit of an awkward spot, even hit by the Avalanche. 4-step, but the toss interrupts it. He's onto the cliff even. Second time a Toof has managed that this game, but they have nothing to go through the rage. Instead, they turn back for Revenant, who is coiled up, but simply uses his BKB to evade death. Mark giving chase, for now anyway, before he points back into the clutches of his team. Just a little pick off there onto the Lion then.
Now I see why Kinder Eggs are banned in America.
Why what?
Why Kinder Eggs are banned in America.
Ah, yes, we just eat them.
Yeah. I mean, that was definitely a choking hazard for Eternity, actually, though. So it was the Kinder Egg itself that was choking. I'm glad they didn't go through with that play. That was, I mean, they could have just left the Aegis there. To be honest, CDR got bashed the second that he left the Infest, which is pretty unlucky. But he didn't get bashed in the high ground, so it's pretty lucky. So, you know, I think karma balances out for CDR. No. Also, he could get bashed 10 times in a row, and that would make up for the Roche, I guess.
Oh, I think Fixer.
Look at this.
I think he just dies for that. Yeah, doesn't even get off his Yules.
This is what I mean with a Kinder Egg. He just choked on it. Straight up. What is CDR doing? He can't rage either.
He used Satanic as well.
CDR feel like God? I think he is.
He can't. Oh. Okay, well, they cancel Tibbs TP, and they even toss him into an 8th of Revenant. What is going on? Eternity? I think he's going to lose Aegis. He reflects the roots. He's life-stealing off Jug. I still don't think he lives here, but they haven't taken him down yet. He's onto the tanky Tiny. He's life-stealing. Back to half HP. They're going to make the jump now. Out comes the Omni Slash. Better damage this time around, as he's going to continue the Omni Slash. There's a nice stun as well, courtesy of the Golem, but Ray, with the stolen toss, cannot die here quite yet to Double King. Still alive, by the way, is CDR. Revenant makes it out. What the hell?
Oh, CDR's coming back in. He has wounds. He has open wounds again. We're going for it. Oh, Satanic to heal back up. Doof. He actually tossed the creep this time. CDR knew it was coming. Now he goes for a Doof. Toss him into the cliff. Toss him into the cliff again, Doof. I dare you. I dare you, Doof. Come on. Come on. 3 seconds though until that toss comes out.
Don't toss me. Don't get away from me.
Don't toss me. I'm joking. I'm joking. Oh
no. Once again, Moonlight's the only one to die here.
My favorite part of it is that the only way to stop CDR 1v5ing is to toss him onto a cliff and put him on timeout. He's like that kid in preschool who's like gone through the same grade like 5 times and he's way bigger than all the other kids. Even the teachers are afraid of him, you know?
It was you know, Alvaro, blink twice if this happened at your preschool. Were you?
No. I mean, you know how they're always called Daniel, they always like steal your lunch,
right.
And they always like hurt you in patio time.
Patio time. Everyone's
oh, sorry, what do you guys call it? Playground time?
Playground time, recess usually. Oh.
Recess, that's it. That's the word. I forgot the
Aces there with 2. They're going to cancel his blink, attempting to TP away. Fixer didn't have an Astral Step, so he couldn't close the gap for the Yule's Scepter. So off and away goes the Tiny.
This Lifestealer is a meme, though. I couldn't expect the Satanic to do this to him, honestly. The Satanic plus the open wounds, man, is actually so good.
Satanic open wounds. I mean, yeah, he doesn't die, right? Like, they can't control him through rage, which is really an issue, especially now that he's got the 25 talents, the plus 1.5 second rage duration. I mean, yeah, I mean, he might be stuck. Every single key on his keyboard is attack move, right? That might be the case, but he also is pretty damn good here on the open wounds.
It's the best tool, though. Because like he's getting kited all the time, so he just hits the first thing he sees. Because someone has to come and kite him, right? So someone has to like take him.
To borrow
for
a term
while.
from CS, you know, he's got the brick on the W key. There is no back. There's only forward.
Is that a thing they say?
Yeah, well, you tape a brick to your W key and then you rush B. Absolutely.
Okay. I don't know what that means at all.
You know what a brick is?
Yeah, yeah.
You know what
It's like a
you know what the W key is? You ever played a first-person Quake-inspired
yeah, but the
shooter?
brick is too big for the W key, right? So we press a bunch of keys around
That's
it.
the joke. You know?
Yeah, so that's what's confusing to me. I don't understand how you can only press the W with a brick. It's very confusing, really.
Do you
Sorry,
ever
Richie.
make mountains out of molehills?
No, because molehills are too small. They're too small. They don't make mountains. I don't know what you're talking about. All these expressions of yours, Richie.
Very stupid. Do you know English?
Who will Fixers go on? I think he's trying to find the Warlock. I don't know. Underload is a good idea. Obviously, that's an illusion on the plot. That's the real plot.
Oh no! They jumped the illusion though, just to send the message. CDR even gonna murder the other one.
They saw the illusory orb going back to a different position. All right. Well, maybe they got baited because the second illusion came out of the shadows. I want to say.
It's oh wait, what the heck? Oh, he hexed himself. I thought Mark had sight device. Pardon me.
No, he hexed himself because of Lotus.
Staying on 5 now, by the way, up on for Mark. I've been seeing a bit of this item over on NA Div 2. It's a favorite of Gremlos.
Well, that's not really a player. It's more of a goblin thing. He eats cat litter. I don't think you can take into account his build.
What was that? What kind of spin was that? He felt the enemies looking at him, and now Mark's going to make the jump up to the high ground. CDI, though, is going to be a little bit more safe than not here, as Mark just kind of lacks the damage here. There's not enough follow-up. Double King will get through Ray, as now CDR finds himself in a 1v4 scenario. Jumps into the creep, though, before the avalanche can really hit him. And that means when he pops out here, he's still full HP. Now Satanic just to continue running as he life steals one hit off the creep back to full HP.
I like that the objective from Eternity has changed from we gotta kill the Warlock to prevent the golems to we gotta stop a Tiny from tossing our Lifestealer onto a cliff. So Tiny has to die first, but Tiny is a much harder kill than the Warlock, obviously. Oh wait, what is Fixers doing? What is Fixers doing? He has no Yols! He just went in there and Yols the tip!
I don't really know. I feel like, you know, with Eternal Envy retiring and Eternity getting their logo, they like mashed the entire energy of Eternal Envy into a team, and now are playing this game. I mean, they make some really bold moves, which are calculated. They baffle the scientists, and then sometimes the scientists are just killed like that. It just didn't work. It was like the scientist that invented the thing to make oil obsolete. Dead instantly. No one knows why. Crazy. CDR
chasing after Double King. Not gonna get the kill. Is it because entropy in the universe is always increasing? So if Eternal Envy dies as a player, the entropy has to go somewhere. And it's been spread among Eternity players, apparently.
I would think so, right? You cannot create or destroy madness. It is only reverted into different forms, basically.
Oh, that's from Soul Eater.
Is that an anime? Am I supposed to know that?
Yes. I'm glad you guessed it, though. That means you've watched it.
Yeah, definitely. Who do you relate to the most?
Oh, Soul Eater. That's the main character. Moonlight. For some reason, they're trying this infest. I don't know why these infest bombs keep happening. Like, I feel like anyone that goes in with Lifestealer will die. So just let Lifestealer go solo, maybe. I don't know what this infest bomb is for, to be honest. I'd much rather see the infest in the middle of the fight to save someone than this. Like, what is Moonlight gonna burst down here?
Yeah, and also, like, there's no Basher or Abyssal as follow-up, which, like, I would see making sense if you wanted to, say, jump a Juggernaut, and after Hex stun, you need a little bit more lockdown. Like, sure, that makes sense.
Which you need, yeah.
He's still going for Daedalus, so I guess that's a way to cut down your time to kill.
Sure. I think it's still difficult to beat heroes with high armor, though. Like, they have no way to deal with that. Jug has what? I'm looking at 69% magic resist.
Nice.
The Tiny has 56%. Like, you're talking about pretty high armor heroes. If you go on the Puck or Warlock, fair enough, because they have... Oh, no, actually, Puck has 56% too. But I feel like if you want to burst Tiny or Jug, which are the hard heroes, well, the heroes you want to burst, it doesn't work out with Daedalus alone.
I agree with that, yeah. And like, I don't know, he's got like good damage against the Tiny, obviously, because of the percentage-based damage, but like, he's just not killing him. Like, the sustain is good, but even Tiny doesn't die too quickly to him. Even less so now with the Heaven's Halberd and the casual bit of evasion. I don't know, man. Things are starting to look a little bit rough here. I can't believe Ray is just going to push this mid wave this far and not be punished for that. That's ridiculous.
Honestly, anything is believable in these games. The Roche decided to ally with a team for a while, so anything is possible.
Did you see this, the 2 Roches in China, by the way?
Yeah, I did see
That was
that.
hilarious. You know, the
Roches are going wild all over the world.
The unfortunate thing with that is that when they eventually remake that remake, there's going to be 4 Roches.
They're gonna find Kill here on the Warlock. That's pretty big. Let's buy that guy.
Yeah, and it doesn't stop him from taking Roche. 3rd Roche as well, so Refresher Shard for Double King. No Axe Blessing. He's bought his own Axe, of course. Has the Swift Slash at the ready.
So you know how, like, in a lot of horror shows, the first thing that happens is, like, birds start dying? That's, like, the bad sign.
Yeah.
I think in Dota is when Roches start multiplying and Roches start bashing too much.
Oh,
yeah.
that's funny.
Something is going to happen to the Dota world. All of a sudden, we'll wake up and we'll all be in Eternal Envy.
Well, that's what happened. Eternal Envy retired, and all of a sudden there's 2 Roches.
Oh, right. He's the start of Singularity.
Imagine 2 Envies, 1 in each ear, just yelling at you to drop your stick. You don't have room.
Oh, that's true. That's a perpetual nightmare, huh?
Eventually, they're going to add so many items to Roche that Roche is going to run out of rooms in his backpack.
That could be, actually.
It's quite full. I think, what, he spawns with 4 maximum now these days? 3, I think, right?
Gold for my
4.
master.
Eggs, shard, cheese.
Radiant are scanning.
Sorry, eggs, refresh, shard, aegis, cheese. 4. Yes. Thank you for confirming it. CDR has Daedalus completed, by the way.
Sorry, I got
That's
distracted.
a little more damage.
You said Suns fan, and chat actually believed that I was Suns fan again.
But you are.
Syndrome!
Stop reading chat.
Come smell
No,
my
you have to do.
belch.
You have to do the intonation more towards the end. It's like Cinderin. Yeah, there we go.
Come smell my
part is that
belch.
he actually he calls him like that in off.
Yeah, he
broadcast
does.
too. It's really funny. It
He
gets
does.
me every time.
Yeah. Cinderin.
There's something about that name that's very musical, to be honest. So it works out really nicely.
Again, Moonlight
What is
still
the
being the
best-
bait here. I can't believe it. He's gonna live. He even gets the 4 stuff up, but he's rooted now his 2nd time and killed by the Dagon, because Dagon 5 does half of his HP pool at this stage of the game.
CTR just baited Moonlight. You're on your own.
It's, you know, it's like literally a parasite. Oh, good Omni
nice
Slash, but
loading.
that was only the Swift. And now with the casual bash, BKB, a 2nd bash now. Revenant falling fast, but still gets up to the high ground. CDR, he's going in, though. You can't stop him, even with a chaotic offering. Now, okay, he's going to get back.
Yeah, backguard done.
Oh, what a stun.
Be a little careful. That was a really good stun, but also a good Lotus Sword for double kill.
Yeah.
Okay, CDR, it's time to stop using the lion as your vessel, please. Like, stop corrupting this poor child of a lion.
It's like, you know, it's like Ratatouille.
Just setting him to die.
It's like Ratatouille. It's like CDR's the one who's in control.
They're gonna go for the golem here, see if they can break it in time. CDR, Lotus Sword doesn't want to use the rage yet. He knows how valuable this rage is. Honestly, you're at a point where CDR getting BKB would probably benefit.
Just use rage, by the way.
Yeah, I know. You just heard me say it. He decided, you know what? It's a good time. Right after the Pit of Malice ends. I wouldn't mind seeing a BKB here. Like, replacing the armor for a BKB. Because of how valuable. Oh, he's found a new vessel instead. Alright, it's Fixers now. You will be the world's best cook, Fixers!
Here they go. Oh! Well, they've telekinesis figured out. Oh, he's going to make the jump.
They fixed Fixers.
Yeah, they did. A double king. He wants to go in. Still has the Omni. Also has the Swift Slash now. CDR, he's going to, yep, this is the time to fight. Oh, and the Hex does catch double king. They might get the kill, and they do. Through the Dagon. They're going to lose Moonlight. That's a dieback now onto him, but Fixers jumps the backline, silences everyone. Tip still alive. The healing, keeping him topped up from the Shadow Word, and now Fixers is in a bit of a rough spot. He's got almost no spells to use, only to dissemblate, but he's rooted up and cannot hide away. It's going to have to buy back to go back in this fight. CDR still A-clicking the tankiest heroes in the game. Will finally get through Tib. Double King on the run, in fact, now. Having lost his Aegis, no longer feeling as confident in this fight.
Oh, Stolen Pit of Malice gets him. And now he actually could be in trouble. He gets stuck as well. You're coming by, but not in time. CDL managed to burst him, showing us why Daedalus is a better item here.
Yeah, indeed. Daedalus looking pretty good. Big Timber Chain from Revenant.
Yeah.
Get ready for some of these.
Oh my god, Revenant, what are you compensating for?
And you know what's going to be pretty scary is not only does he have this big timber chain, he's going to be able to turn someone into a sheep at the end of this. He's been carrying this Scythe of Ice, big item here, allowing him to get a couple of crucial pickoffs here.
This game is so wild, Richie. I can't believe CDR is going to solo carry this. After deciding that he's had enough of utilizing the line as a pawn, he's finally just carried the team fight with line initiating properly. What a hex, though, by Moonlight.
Yeah. Great job initiating there. Sidewaves being shoved in a little bit here. And good job by Fixers as well in that fight. He does end up having to take a death, which, fair enough, right? But the way he initiates, it completely breaks the backlines of Happy Seals. Unfortunately, Tiv is just too damn tanky at this stage of the game to really care about what is, honestly, a limited amount of magic damage that they have. He's 3,200 HP. The right clicks don't bother him, right? He's got the aura. He didn't take the 25 talent. He went for the Pit of Malice Harut here, by the way, so he's really looking to perma-root a couple heroes. Lifestealer cares, yeah, good point.
Sorry, he cares about Lifestealer, right? That's what I mean. Like, the Feast destroys him. So, but I don't think there's a solution to that if you're Underlord, right? Because if you get more armor, Lifestealer just tears right through you anyway. You get a bump for AC. That was the other option I was thinking about, which would have been pretty good too. I wouldn't have minded at that, actually. I might have maybe preferred the AC over the Basher. But I get why the Abyssal might seem more attractive, because it's all about who initiates on whom. So I think that's the logic behind it. On the Lifestealer side, the Abyssal's finally finished, thank God for that. I was waiting for this item for a while. He sold Armlet. I wouldn't mind seeing an Ags on him. The Infest cooldown reduction is actually
I agree. I think his Ags is really good, actually.
People really underestimate that Ags.
It allows you to pull a Ratatouille on enemies. It's pretty good. You don't get to move them, unfortunately. But basically just for the disarm is amazing, I would say.
So Ratatouille though is quite loose, huh? With his partners, he's just kind of everyone's a chef.
I mean, you know, you put on the white hat, it's a Ratatouille. You can't really tell the difference. Chefs, you know, or rats, they're face blind, you know.
That's what they're known for. They're great cooks.
They're great cooks.
Face blind.
Also known for being face blind, yes.
That's why moles are also rodents.
Very true.
All rodents are actually blind to some degree.
You know what? They make just the best mountains, don't they, those moles?
No, they are. They're great. But if you think about it, no, moles are blind. Rats are face blind. The squirrels are emotionally blind. They don't have any empathy. That's why BSJ loves them.
Yes, that's why he eats them.
To become a stronger sociopath.
Bringing up the...
Okay, Fixer's now with a Wind Waker, I think is a good sacrificial pawn.
Yeah.
I feel like this is the good hero to Infest Bomb in. I again don't think Infest Bomb is the best of tools this game. I have not seen it be impactful a single time, but I guess it's a good way to get Lifestealer close to people and hitting them.
Well, I'll tell you what, actually, this Wind Waker also is the ultimate counter to Puck, because you can move yourself now and just snap coil in the air. You just don't care anymore about this coil.
Also great against Underlord.
Again, they keep trying to catch Mark, and like I don't think that's going to happen for them this game. Who, by the way, Mark has the Revenant's Brooch, which is very good now, this item.
It's pretty bad on Puck, though. I've tested it. It's pretty bad. Because you don't have enough physical damage to actually, like, burst someone, you know, on your Puck. So it's all about, like, the residual damage. But Revenant's Brooch is great on heroes like, you know, for example, a Sven, when he's against high armor heroes. Because you have a lot of burst for a couple of seconds, and then you, like, leave, right? Whereas Puck is more of, I hit you once, I move around, I hit you once, I move around, right? So Revenant's Brooch feels a little bit underwhelming on this hero. I'm not saying it's bad, but it's just, like, you might as well use it for slot efficiency more than it is like be all end all. I think it's kind of overrated.
He wants some really expensive item. Dagon 5, Revenant's Brooch, give him the Wind Waker, give him the upgraded Blink Dagger, give him bots too. This is gonna be the most baller Puck you've ever seen.
Sure, but like I'm just saying, I would rather see like a Daedalus, for example, before the Brooch. I think that builds a little more effective.
Oh, Revenant. He's still taking a bit of damage here. Puck though, I think out of... Oh no, he still has Revenant's Brooch ready to use. Actually, Revenant didn't get the BKB off. It's a perma-root essentially for him. Abyssal, even if he tried to pull himself away to the tree, and he is killed for that. It's not going to have BKB if he chooses to buy back for this Roach fight, which does carry 4 objects here. Now the Axe Blessing on the 4th bounty. On the 4th Roach, I mean.
That could be an Axe for Lifestealer, I imagine.
Could be. If they can take it.
Who needs Axe on the Happy Seals team? He's terrible.
Lux.
Underlord? Underlord's not that bad, actually.
Yeah, he's got a decent one. I like his one.
Oh, Warlock.
he's almost farmed his way up to. Oh, he's gonna die. It's a big jump, although Salacious Sea Lion keeping himself alive. Healing Ward as well. There's gonna be the Abyssal for CDR. That triggers the buyback then from Timbersaw. Picks are waiting to jump back on in as they're gonna reset CDR Telekinesis up to the high ground by his Rubik. And it seems like we're gonna have to wait a bit longer. At this stage, you just wait for tier 5s now?
No, I think you try to Roche, honestly. If you're Radiant, you look at CDR, he gives no shits.
Okay, going in.
This game,
he's going. He's gonna fight.
Oh, they're gonna fight the Puck. It's only now stunned, so Puck might just die. There we go. They got him with a Whirling Death. CDR from behind. Look at him go. He's going for the Warlock. Warlock, you better run. There's a Bastard on him now. CDR activates the Rage. You can't be tossed anymore. He does get stunned by the Blade Fury, but he's gonna be fine. The Swift Slash plus Obvious Slash get both used on Fixers. Now CDR chasing after the Jug. He's been hexed, however. And he's going to continue attacking.
Another shoot stick.
Pit of Malice there. They need something else to hex the Double King, but they're not going to get it in time. Basher at least. They still have the Abyssal.
Mark's
they don't
back.
really commit it. Mark is back. The Tooth gets hexed here. CDR wants to kill this annoying tosser. Will he get him in time? Will this help for sure? There's a Swift Slash reflected as CDR now gets hexed. Jim Gold as well. The damage might be too high. He's still rooted. He's going to die. CDR gets healed back up. 100 seconds without him, he's gonna have to buy back. Fixers dies and he doesn't have a buyback himself. Moonlight trying to survive, creating as much space as possible. Has a blink dagger. Moonlight TPing in the middle of the Roche pit. Can they catch him in time? The first hit bash will not be the case this time.
Oh man, that was so close. And we're gonna hit probably the hour mark, pretty close to it. Probably going to get the buyback forced out from CDR as well, as it was a pretty good initiation. CDR just ganking the fight from behind, but didn't want to commit the Abyssal Blade there for Salacious Sea Lion, so they end up forcing him out of the fight. Now it's going to be even harder to nuke him as he's forced to go Aeon Disc first. Aegis for Mark. I think he also took the Ag's Blessing by the looks of things. Cheese was distributed to Underlord? Yeah, it's got a cooldown from his last one, and Refresher Shard for Jug. Okay. That's where they stand. Mark did have to buy back in that engagement. Jug still has the buyback crucial. He's the only one actually on his team, at least for the next 10 seconds with buyback.
They would have forced the life killer buyback, that'd be crucial. Like, getting a buyback now when there's 30 seconds down. How much pushing power do they have? I don't think enough to force this buyback. They probably just let one lane of Rax go. Yeah, go, Rubik. Look at his range.
Keep throwing in your Chakram. A little cheeky Hex from what is a mad range out from a Lion out. Plus 250 AoE Hex. It's a big item, or it's a big talent to pick up, especially against heroes that have spell block, because you cannot spell block that AoE talent. This is a mad jumping from Puck. Oh, Dagon. Just cheeky there on the Moonlight. He's still alive though. He's got a blink even. He drops his Hex. And the stun is going to miss though. The Force Staff gets Mark out of a pickle. Seems like the illusions are not going to quite finish off these barracks either, so Mark's going to have to do it the old-fashioned way, the quick right-click, and he blinks out immediately.
Yeah, and they didn't lose that much, honestly. I was expecting maybe 2 lanes Rax, perhaps, but this is basic. Alright, this game is going to go 60 minutes.
It is. It has gone 60 minutes.
Yeah, sorry. It has reached 60 minutes. Seer Stone for Seals. I don't think that's that useful for Seals. Oh, actually, Puck can use that pretty well. Can't imagine who else. I don't think Warlock is like, oh guys, look, I got a really long range Shadow Ward, boys. Okay.
Yeah.
I like the Puck because he can Waning Rift super far with that.
I mean, but look at this upheaval range, though. It is ridiculous.
I mean, sure, but
imagine like you get upheavaled in your base and you're like, where the heck is the Warlock? And you find him and he's in his Ancient. Oh, Moonlight. What the heck, Moonlight? Oh, you know what? He came here to recover the gem, and he's gonna get the gem, but he'll probably lose his life for it. He's got buyback.
And both gems. You shouldn't have to bring your own gem to recover the enemy gem. I don't think that's necessary. We got Stygian Desolator though on the life theater, as most people know it though. Desolator 2. Pretty strong. Mirror Shield for the Timber Soul would be kind of incredible, actually.
Desolator 2 Electric Boogaloo.
Yep. Where's the... who got the Mirror Shield then? If it's not Timber Soul. Oh, Void Spirit, perhaps?
Yeah, I can see that. Book of the Dead.
Oh, Jug got Stygian Desolator himself. That's pretty scary.
I don't think there's any way that you don't use Ex Machina, though. Well, he doesn't have BKB, eh?
Yeah, what's the Ex Machina for? I think the Stygian Desolator is better.
Double Abyssal is pretty strong.
Yeah. I would rather see them Puck use the Ex Machina, honestly. Double Dagon, double Revenant's Roach, double BKB.
Yeah, I think I agree with you there. You also refresh your Ascetics cap. 40%
Yep.
stamina. Just 6 seconds of that's no joke. They are just breaking Lincolns here for fun, essentially. That's Swift stole it. CDR up his number 1, double king. He's got the Desolator 2 in his inventory at his CDR. CDR winning that fight, though. Fixers goes right into the pit of malice, though, as he Wind Wakers himself out.
And when I said that Jug beats Life Thriller like him, I was lying. Life Thriller is god. Nothing can beat this hero.
That's pretty scary. There is no way, by the way, except for the casual bashes, of getting through the evasion right now that Jug has.
Yep. Yep.
So that's potentially problematic here.
That's why he's going for MKB next. I think he sells SNY and goes for MKB, which I think is a good idea.
Yep, I agree.
Have Ags and Revenant as well, so help the push a little bit. The Shadow Ward is not doing anything right now. Do they only have 3 items? No, they do. So Stygian Desolator, Book of the Dead, and Mirror Shield.
Mirror Shield there for Happy Seals. That does round up their 5 because they also have Book of Shadows, so I think that's all for them.
That Mirror Shield on the puck is huge. If he had not gone for the AoE Hex, this game might be over.
Yep.
So
AoE Hex, man,
might
so good. Not reflected by anything.
Great.
Goes to the Lincolns.
Yeah, it's not broken like it is with Cold Feet, right?
No, it is not. It actually works.
Okay.
Very good.
There's a lot of spells. Brain Sap is also broken, or it used to be at least.
Nah, this one works, as I recall. I mean, he's already used it.
If you tell me it works, I believe you.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. It's just like quite common where it's like, oh, one spell becomes AoE, but it's still single target. It's just single target AoE.
No. This one you can, yeah. This one's real good. It's not like Lion Finger of Death with Ag Scepter, which is single target, but also AoE, right? And can be therefore blocked and reflected.
Actually, yep.
This one you can just cast on, you can cast on nothing if you'd like. And very frequently you do. Because 250 AoE is not, I mean, it's good. Obviously for Hex it's crazy, but like it's not that big when you think about it. So it is easy to miss this.
Is 250 the radius or is it the diameter?
It's AoE, right? So area of effect.
Oh, so it's the total area, so it's the area. Oh,
yeah.
I don't know how much that is in.
I mean, what is it on? Do we have Pit of Malice to say? Oh, that's radius though. Yeah, I mean it's much smaller than a Pit of Malice, like much smaller.
Yeah, I'll do it. Yeah. I have a calculator here.
There you go.
You continue with a cast. I'm gonna figure this out.
Yeah, Alvaro, he really loves doing that. This is actually his alarm clock problem for the day.
You're not entirely joking. I had a pretty difficult one today.
There's MKB picked up here as well for Lifestealer. So he's gotten rid of something, but it actually wasn't the SNY.
What did you get rid of?
I'm missing out on what he got rid of here on the Lifestealer. Let me see if I can script through the replay tapes and see what was there. Was it his boots? He did. He got rid of his boots.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
No more phase boots here then for him.
It's like, this cannot be correct. I'm doing something wrong. It says 9 radius. There's no way.
Oh, Fixers. Board up on the high ground. They can make the jump. They see Salacious Sea Lion. They're going to try and get him through, but he's got the Aeon Scheme alive. Stun, though. Off the Dissemblate, finds Double King, Abyssal Blade into CDR. Salacious Sea Lion drops the rock here. They have refreshed as well on the Juggernaut, but he's reflected Lotus, and the Omni Slash is going to put Revenant right back next to Double King. Mark is going to refresh now as well with his orb, but CDR has been left completely alone on the backlines. He is taken down by the Dagon of Mark. Revenant's going to go on in. The triple suck from Moonlight actually removes all the mana from Mark here, as Revenant is going to be allowed to Timber Chain back to safety. Moonlight into the Book of Shadows here for himself, trying to escape here. He's muted, so he can't force or blink himself away, but it seems like Atuf has put himself in a bit of a risky position. Again, Mark low on HP, low on mana here. Oh, it's a pit stop, though, for Happy Seals. Ray, he's going to find the big old Fiend's Gate. Yeah, he says whoops, almost taking a trip into the enemy fountain, pardon. But they forced the buyback from
see what's on the other
CDR.
side.
That's pretty big.
Yeah, this next team fight has to be perfect for Eternity if they want to be able to make it. This next team fight has to be, like, Fixer has to initiate, put Ray in a position. Like, the lack of boots makes him so much more kiteable, right? So they have to put him in a position which is either being controlled well by the Lion and the Void Spirit, or surrounded by so many enemies that can always hit something.
You know,
granted, they did use a fair amount of spells there, like Omnislash particularly in Golem, so the fight could be good for them now.
You know what's a bit crazy is that actually Moonlight, I thought he had Book of Shadows. He doesn't. He's holding on a telescope. You can actually use Book of Shadows on enemies. I always forget this because it's almost never relevant. Really, tier 5s in general, let alone this one.
Wait, really?
Yeah, you can use it on enemies.
I have never seen
Yeah,
that.
me neither. I always forget. I always forget. Oh, Fallen Sky is great for Eternity. There is a big tier 5 neutral. They still have to get one more as well. Seems like they're going to focus fire onto the neutrals here first. There it is, Arcanist Armor. Gives you some big magic resist, +5 armor to everyone in Aura, which is pretty nice against a Jug, as well as 40% damage reflection here for 4 seconds, which is very nice as an Aura. I believe it gives it to yourself only. This is one of the newer tier 5s.
No, reflection is for everybody too. It's pretty crazy.
Yep, Force Aura.
The stats are only for you though. The stats that it gives you.
Another Scythe of Vice, this time here for Ray, the position 5 Rubik, who has got some pretty crazy cast range and an Ag Scepter.
He got Swift Slash. What a steal, Rubik. Honestly, with the amount of range he has, it's actually not that bad because it's going to be a good escape, right?
Yeah. Quickly jumped onto the Warlock, cancel him from channeling Upheaval, best spell in the game. Another long Roche, by the way. Roche number 5 going to come back. This game is the one that Ice Frog sent that second Roche doppelganger from the China game here to punish him for his sins. He's just going to die over and over again. We're 69 minutes in here, or just thereabouts, and no clear end, to be honest, in sight.
Yeah, are they going to wait for the Lifestealer buyback? I think that's kind of wild. If I was Happy Seals, I'd try to force something.
300 gold for your entire team by 5. That's insane. That's so much gold.
Yep. Oh, Puck. By Mark. Dreamcold breaks it with his own Ags waiting Rift, but they missed the Pit of Malice afterwards.
They don't see him. They didn't know that he pushed him up to the high ground. Revenant goes back down to the low ground to sacrifice himself. Seemingly Abyssal here, but the what the heck? The Aeon Disc saving his life. Okay.
Yeah, he's kind of unkillable right now. The Arcanist Armor now triggers. Revenant. He gets hit by the Dagon, but he's still fine. He can still TP here. The two supports, though, might be more trouble. They're hugging each other for tier safety, unless maybe they want to actually counter-initiate. They're thinking about this. Void Spirit nearby. Here he goes. And the target is pumped. They burst it down. Works then. Without Mark, they can actually fight the CDR. Can't be cut as well. He destroys the healing ward, but CDR is so slow. He can't catch up to the Jug. Ray might just die. Ray is done for. Moonlight in the trees might be in the same position. But he blinks just in time, TP's away, Pit of Malice will cancel his TP. Anyway, Moonlight hexing people, trying to survive, creating space, but he knows his days are counted.
Oh my gosh. Late game Dota is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, okay, they get the buyback there out from Puck. Pretty major, but Ray does not have buyback here. Roche is up in 13 seconds, and Happy Seals essentially at full strength. Without Golem, yes, but everything else here they have at their disposal. They're going to be able to scout this Roche as well. I believe they're the team with the Seer Stone. Yeah, it's on Warlock here. So they're going to see Roche. Oh, they're just gonna barely miss Roche respawning, actually, and Revenant's going to see it first.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
And Revenant's really happy about that. They can potentially sneak a Roche. Honestly, Lifestealer takes it so fast with Station Liz later.
It's a DD as well,
Might
top
be the
lane.
option.
Happy Seals are going to see that.
I feel like if you now have Ags and Lifestealer, you deal so much damage. So I think this Roche is more valuable than they give it credit for.
Okay.
They're thinking of a plan. Lion buys back.
Dangerous.
Casual 162 gold, 62 golds for the team. That's a 69-minute bounty.
Really impressed by these bounties.
Dude, that's so much gold.
Well, they found Roche here. They found Roche and they have the Feeds Gate, so they're all going to try to take it. It has to be 4 versus 5.
All right, here's the move. If you're Eternity, you smoke and go through this Fiend's Gate.
That would be genius, but instead Fixer decided to just set up a Remnant. And now I'm getting hexed. Now Fixer's going to be in trouble. Lifestealer's nearby. Back takes the race. CDR, what are you going for? Double King apparently target. Hits him once. Back hits him once. That's it. Let's see line. Aeon Disc gets activated.
Yep.
On Disc also. Sorry, on Sky. On Sky. Yep. is what gets used to get the point straight away.
The Echo 3s. The cameo.
Woo! They're back.
They're
free gold.
They're both
free
dead.
gold.
Yeah, that was a lot of gold there for the Juggernaut. Not like he really needs it for anything. Jug, by the way, with the BKB, so he is going to be using Ex Machina to refresh that. 20-second BKB cooldown, still with a 7-second duration here on that first charge. Speaking of charge, the Seals are going to charge back into the pit here, and it looks like Eternity are going to relinquish control. This is 5th Roche for Happy Seals.
Oh no, Revenant? Revenant?
It's too late, I think.
He's going to try, though. And he's just failed. But it's okay, CDR's going in now. The Swift Slash. Obviously, that's perhaps some fixtures. They're trying to trigger an A on this, but there's the Windmaker saving his life. In fact, they killed the Warlock. At least they got rid of that upheaval. But Dreamco caught Fixers. Fixers no longer has any more saves. Fixers, what are you going to do? Eats the whole Omni Slice, turns from pagan to half, but now, thanks to the Shadow Realm, Lifestealer is fine.
Oh.
And Double King just wasted his Omni Slash. They could kill him here, potentially, at least his first life.
Picks the spot
Double
back.
King is so close to dying. The Charkham kills him. CDR gets sent over
There's
to
a chaotic blocker. There it is.
He gets turned into a pig as well. He's gonna go down. Good flash from Double King. Double King now trying to spin.
Ex Machina.
He has to refresh. Second Omni Slash. Now the poor Life Stealer has been hex. All skies trying to get some space for the Life Stealer. It's a 2 for 9. CDR.
They're on a Double King. They got him.
He can't use his ultimate.
Tim's getting out of here.
The refresh did nothing. It was the Ex Machina. It didn't help him out. Tim now in trouble. Tim hexed as well. Tim got killed
Mark.
for a second time in a row.
He jumped back.
Mark though.
Moonlight's got
has
him.
the John, but Moonlight catches him. We have the Airspike as well. Finger dash everything onto this poor Puck. Mark's dead for 2 minutes. And Happy Seals have just given Eternity a chance after taking the Roche.
What?
Who took the Refresher Shard, by the way? I wanted to see that. It was Underlord's inventory. That's why Cheese and Refresher Shard never got used. That's why Jug didn't have Omni.
Yeah,
Oh, no.
yeah. That was the tiny green dots and not like the full green orb active is Ex Machina. It's hard to know that because we really don't see that item so much. So yeah, no opportunity there for a second Omni Slash. Really just another BKB charge, the best that Joe could have done. But he didn't even get that off in time before he died. Now he does have Refresher Shard and Ex Machina as Revenant is gonna pause. Okay, there we go. We're good to go. He just needed to catch his breath, and so do I.
He was screaming in that fight.
It was just constant. It was just one scream. I'll give us net worth here just for a second, but buyback status, of course, is going to be really the most important thing. The entire game right now is Eternity are barreling through the mid lane without 2 cores here are the Happy Seals. Here comes the Book of the Dead as well. They're going to start tearing through these structures. It's a good Fatal Bonds here. CDR dispels it, as does Fixers, though. Glyph of Fortification is used as there's going to be the jump onto Double King. Another 4-snap though, but they still caught him with the Earth Spike. He might just die here, and he does! Doesn't get off a spin, doesn't get off a PKB, doesn't get off anything, Avo. He's just dead, and I think that's the game.
That is the game indeed. A tooth. One last toss for the boys, but the Ancient will go the way of Eternity. In that last fight, Richie, I honestly believe the Book of Shadows that have been used on the Life Stealer, that Omni Slash would have dealt a little bit more damage, and Jug would have more of a fighting chance. But in the end, it didn't really work out, and that fight did not go the way Happy Seals expected. Eternity finally take the game. What a performance by CDR. I mean, everyone played well, but CDR particularly, I guess him and Moonlight really were, to me, the stars of this game.
Yep.
It's incredible that he actually managed to 1v5.
So here's a replay of this, of what you're talking about, right? They snap the coil, and once again, you can use Book of Shadows on enemies. You don't really see it. And yeah, there's the Book of Shadows getting used. As you can see, he's muted, he's in the Shadow Realm. And that's a lot of damage. You're completely right. There's a lot of damage coming out from Omni Slash that quite simply isn't. I didn't catch it in this replay, but also earlier you can see Fixers using his Wind Waker quite a bit. Also used it earlier in the fight to force out basically the Refresher Orb from Puck initially, because the first coil completely whiffed on everyone. That was also pretty consequential in this last Roche fight. But you can see, I mean, that's only Ex Machina, right? They couldn't hand Jug the Refresher in time, so he just can't really get off any impactful spells that second time around after he respawns.
He also got perma stun, so he didn't have time to activate the second BKB. Like that's the degree. Even if he had Refresher Orb, I think it would have been a loss for them, because the stunning was just really